Hi guys, welcome to Business Reviews. I'm going to be sharing the best investment decisions I've made in my life. Not all of this is monetary, but these are the best investments that impacted my life the most. Get ready. If you lack sleep, you work more than 10 hours, more than 14 hours, this will help you a lot. Number one, first is a mindset investment. I wanted to be rich, and I was taught at a very young age that you should put a number on that. You can't just be rich without having any goal or any particular number you're aiming for. Every year, I spend around 5 minutes trying to guess what net value I would have at the end of the year. If you do it longer than 15 minutes, you're overcomplicating. Moving on to number two, I was working night shifts and shift slides. I used to spend a lot of days and nights just playing. I was unhealthy due to vices. One of my particular vices was overtime. And every time I had a problem, that was my outlet. I wanted to work more because I know it would result into something of value, at least. Also, if you work night shift, this will help you a lot. Number three, this is another mindset investment, refusing to eat. I only eat when I'm hungry. Eat a lot and then just burning out on a gym or spending to have it burned out was a waste of my body and a waste of time. Every time there's a holiday, I didn't buy food immediately because there was always food around that people would pass. We would always have excess and I would give it to the next team or people beside us just because there were a lot of food. So I felt that this was a waste. This actually helped me save a lot. So the formula, eat plus spend to get rid of the fats you got from eating was not a good investment for me because you spent a lot more time, a lot more money. Just avoid it altogether. I also had this weird problem. I have a hard time sleeping when I'm full. I can't sleep when I'm full. Also, to be fair, I was food blogging. I wanted just quality food. I didn't want to eat a lot of food. I just wanted quality food in my body. Let's go to number four, travel. I'll probably have another video specifically for the math of travel and the opportunity cost of time. When I was in college, I used to work to support myself. It took me 3 hours to travel from Alabang to where I was studying in college. It took 3 hours to and from. So that's a total of 6 hours. What happened was I didn't finish my thesis on time. That gave me an idea that I'll never be working that far from the office. That extra money that I'll save from travel, I'd rather pay it on rent if it's closer to the office because travel time, potential theft, travel hassle, MRT breaking down, all of that wasn't worth it. And if I could just save another 1,000, 2,000 pesos from that, it's so not worth it. Spending that extra more for that sleep is priceless. So that's another investment you should be putting yourself into. If you're not sleeping that well, anything you eat and all the nutrition you get is lost anyway. Water. So number five is water. Water is a relatively free resource at this time. We should be paying more for it in the future. Like air. Air is already sold in other countries. This is one of the things that separated me from the rest. It was at this time that I noticed I was a bit sharper. I don't know if it was water and sleep. It helps a lot of health issues. I drank a lot of water and noticed that my click speed was faster. It resulted to me getting more frags. Getting enough water helped me with better moods. Water is an investment. It's a relatively free resource. Take advantage of it. The next part is about defensive costs. What I spend to avoid further costs. Since I moved away from home, I wasn't able to eat properly. But again, if you don't sleep, you'll lose that nutrition anyway. I was using laundromat services for quite some time and you pay 25 pesos per kilo. What happened was after a year or two of using those services, I felt like I was losing more clothes than what I actually am putting in. On average, I would lose a sock every month or a towel or a t-shirt if it's brand new. I would generally spend about 5 kilos 3 times every 2 weeks. So I would say that's 25 times 6 times 12. I think it would be around 9,000 I'd spend in a year for washing clothes. It looks convenient and all, but there were some problems with this. The problems I had were I had to wake up to when they opened. So this is a big hassle for me being in the night shift. The clothes that were lost, sometimes they were new. They really didn't have any way to give you back what they broke or what they stole. Some people also put their underwear there, so it's not really hygienic. The amount I spend, it was the amount of 9,000 plus how much I lost in terms of clothes. So let's say I would lose 3 shirts, 1 polo shirt, 2 socks, 1 towel. This is from real example in 1 year. Yes, I accounted for that. So all in all, it would be around 12,000 in a year. That was the exact amount I spent for the washing machine for the first year only. You know, to be honest, I am spending for detergent, I'm spending for the electricity. But losing the important clothes for me was like very important sometimes, and sometimes I'm sentimental with the clothes because some of the clothes were from very significant people in my life. They were gifts. Washing machine is a good investment. It's very important that you are able to do your clothes and you don't lose more of what you're putting in. Sometimes it's just like, oh, I have a presentation, I need that shirt, but that shirt was stolen, which actually happened. Defensive cost, washing machine math. Laundromat expense plus lost clothes is always greater than what I spent for the washing machine. Plus, I get to do it in my own time. I have a very complicated haircut, as you can see. One of the best investments I had that gave me more sleep was actually a hair trimmer. I spent 1,500 for a hair trimmer. I don't have any complicated haircut regimens. I would go to this barber shop, Mang Nardo. He would cut my hair for 40, 50 pesos. The problem I had with that, I was in the night shift. I had to wake up when they open. After they open, I had to get my haircut, take a bath again, because I can't sleep with my hair and mess out my bed. This wasn't something I could do all the time. When I do overtime or I'm too tired to do that, I can't do that. Having to do that every month, I got back to 1.5 from the first year. Plus, I got more sleep. So to give you an estimate, that's like 50 times twice a month times 12 months, that's 1,200. After the first year, I was already making money out of it. Literally. It was a defensive cost, just like the washing machine, but I gained money from it. Just because I don't spend that much, I get more sleep, I can cut whenever I want, I can have more haircuts if I want, plus I can style it the way I want. I have so many styles of hair, it's very difficult to tell. Sleep became a recurring theme. Sleep was something I valued more and more as I aged, and time was something I valued more and more as I aged. I realized how sharp I was compared to my peers. I was sharper, I could think clearer, I can make faster decisions, I can click faster, I can make more work done. And I noticed this was a great investment, for sleep. This helped me a lot become productive. After the battle with brick and mortar shops on sleep, I was spending more time at home, I couldn't sleep properly. So I call this a battle of light and sound because at this part of my life, I couldn't sleep properly because humans were awake and they were doing construction here and there, and it's apparently legal. I had a hard time, so I invested in earplugs. It took me a year, literally a year. I tried to look for the best earplugs. There were comply, there were rubber, there were different types of stuff that I had. I spent a good amount on that. After a year, I realized that most of them fell out, and I was waking up from sounds, from hammers or jackhammers or the neighbor's kid or somebody playing some loud music thinking everybody wants that. Don't be that jerk, don't be that jerk, don't be that jerk. I almost gave up until I had an encounter with my ear. So I went to the ear doctor. She actually recommended that I get customized earplugs. I didn't think it was anything. I actually found out when I was trying to listen to good music. I found out that artists use customized in-ear monitors. So I wanted one. When I wanted to get some urban ears, they said that you have to get an imprint of your ears. One time I was shopping and I saw Manila hearing aid. So Manila hearing aid, they could do it for 1.5, I think, per piece. So I said, yeah, I want an imprint. I'll send it to Urban Ears. Then they gave you the option to give it in silicone. And they told me that this is what the swimmers use. It worked for me like wonders because I was able to sleep. And these guys did not fall off. These were the best earplugs I have. I don't use them all the time because you have to be careful when you're using them if there's potential danger. So somebody has to be there when you're using them. It helps me a lot having those earplugs that don't fall off. They're silicones. You might sweat on them. When I need quality sleep, I have that option, especially when I have that presentation tomorrow. It's a cheap expense for the quality of the sleep, and the difference of the quality of the sleep I have when I'm using it is leaps and bounds apart. Literally sleep like a baby when I have that. Sometimes there are people already in the house I don't even know. Overall, great investment. I spent 500 to get quality sleep. Well, not really 500. There were some clips, but clothespin will do. One of the reasons I couldn't sleep, the root causes were just light and sound. In terms of light, I have a hard time sleeping when my body thinks it is morning, which it wasn't really morning. So I had to fool myself to think that it was not morning. I saw a black blanket and I got inspired, like, hey, I'll put my phone behind it and see if the light passes through. It didn't. Hey, I want to buy this and I'm going to make this into curtains. So when I was young, I used to visit Westin. So my dad brought me to Westin, and this was a feature of the hotels I really liked because I could sleep very well with dark curtains. I bought curtains and I put clothespin in, and I made sure that the lights didn't come through the windows. This helped me sleep a lot better. Maybe you pay for the curtain rods if you don't have those. Okay, so this is another category when it comes to investments. One of the better investments I had were dental sealants. If you have broken teeth, they sometimes put, what do you call it? They put pasta when you have a broken teeth, so they try to clean it and then they put pasta on top. The thing is, some teeth are bad that they actually keep food inside. A sealant, you put the seal on top even before it accumulates anything. So I invested in this. I think you usually spend like 300 to 700 each. You ask your dentist, they actually recommend at a particular age, but I always get this because sealants helps you prevent and keep your teeth a lot more. And I feel like that's a good investment. I don't have to wear dentures early in my life. Going back to sleep, air conditioning is something that I think is a luxury for most people. Investing in air conditioning helped me a lot, especially on summers, because when you're working night shift, investing in air conditioning is really important. I couldn't sleep and it impacted my mood, impacted how I work with people, impacted the speed of how I work. One of the best investments I made was actually my own space. I used to think that boarding was very helpful, but it didn't. I actually liked my own internet connection because I wanted to play. I didn't like people who were noisy and just distracting or putting things where I don't want them. I had my own apartment, spent like 10K a month. It helped me a lot. Gives me peace of mind. I don't have to worry about a lot of things, where this is, where that is. If somebody touched this, if somebody touched that. It gives me peace of mind. And I think that amount is like pretty fair. The apartment I have, they pretty have security, they have security guards, they have cameras, so pretty good. I particularly like apartments that are pretty strict. There are no dogs, there are no noisy kids, and the landlord is pretty observant with the other tenants if they're going awry, for their peace of mind. Last but not the least, but this is one of the best investments I had. I spent 16,000 for this food intolerance test. This food intolerance test helped me discover that I really can't drink milk. I really can't drink because I get red and how my body reacts to that. And I can't eat egg because I get migraine from that. So it will tell you everything. So I used this company entirely. I'll probably do a video about this separately. This company had like 200 food groups and they tell you this is good for you, that's bad for you. Agar, they would tell you each fruit, each nut, each meat, which one's good for you. Baker's yeast, brewer's yeast. And maybe that's why some people get a hangover from a Red Horse or from a whiskey and not the other way around. Some people are better with hard liquor, some people are better with beers. It's because their bodies, their microbiome in their body couldn't handle that type of food. There's a process of doing it, there's consultation. That 16,000 was like well worth it because I get to sleep better, my tummy went slimmer. I found out that most of the things I eat, they just stay there as fat because my body doesn't know how to deal with it. There were lesser pimples, there were lesser stress, lesser wrinkles here and there. And I found out because when you have food intolerance, it's not really an allergic reaction. It's not immediate. So it could happen an hour later, it could happen 3 days later. I would strongly recommend that. It's a bit pricey for most people, but it's definitely worth it. Yeah, I'm hoping you watch out for those. I think you should definitely invest in these. If you have somebody or you know somebody is working the night shift, share this with them. This might help them. Follow the Business Reviews and Investment Decision channel. Click like and subscribe. Thank you for watching.